welcome to NewsNation. My brothers and sisters, this is where right and left can come to try to be reasonable. And yes, I'm not going to fake the funk. It does seem like the bad guys are winning. The headlines are a hellscape. A school shooter is still on the loose right now after opening fire at Brown University. Walked right into a classroom taught by a Jewish teacher. Now, we don't know the shooter's motive. We don't even know who the shooter is. And it is unusual that the shooter winds up making it off campus. But remember, for it to take a few days, even 5 days, to find somebody in a mass shooting is not unheard of, okay? So we don't know who did it. We don't know why, but we know what he took. 19-year-old Ella Cook from Alabama, a member of the Young Republicans. 18-year-old Muhammad Aziz Umurzov grew up in Virginia after his family immigrated from Uzbekistan. Yesterday in Australia, extreme Islamists killed at least 15 people. That's who did it. They had pledged fealty to ISIS. Okay? They're not just Muslims. They're extreme Islamists, a perversion of that faith known for terror. They killed 15, they injured dozens, and they were hunting Jews on the first night of Hanukkah. One of those they killed was a 10-year-old girl named Matilda. An 87-year-old Holocaust survivor named Alex died shielding his wife from bullets. The FBI says they foiled a plot by a homegrown bunch of extremists with some weird name, Turtle Island something, that were planning attacks on ICE right here. Again, extremists, not extreme Islamists, but extremism, looking to act on rhetoric with violence. Then another headline, painful, unusual. Actor, producer, director, legend Rob Reiner, his wife Michelle, found in their home stabbed to death. Anybody who knows anything about investigating knows stabbing is a crime of passion, rarely a crime of opportunity or of necessity, like, a robbery or anything like that. And sure enough, their son Nick, who has long struggled with addiction, has been arrested and is named as a suspect. Each and all of these stories, terrible. Each and all are examples of what we are failing to deal with in our society. And I will tell you what the algorithm will not. The online reactions to these tragedies are part of the problem. Selective outrage, calculated for clicks, playing to social media platforms that amplify animus by design. In fact, a big reason that it seems the bad guys are winning, and I don't just mean bad people, I mean bad ideas, bad manners, bad takes, bad fakes, bad everything, is because we still allow the most dominant media tool in the history of the world, social media, to design algorithms that preference the profane. Insults, anger, outrage, the more provocative, the more profit, the more it is amplified and delivered to everybody that they can. That is the game. And everyone is playing, which is why the media overall is playing to those algorithms. I mean, I remember a day when you would not have a media website like Mediaite featuring as part of a commentary in a situation like this, a guy saying F you to the President of the United States and making fun of the size of his pee-pee. This is what Mediaite believes is worthy to feature as a critique of the president in a situation where someone is found murdered? Now, of course not. They know better than this, but they have surrendered the subjective. They've surrendered value, ethics, anything like that for profit. And of course they would. It's called the news business. It's called the media business. They want the clicks. So does he. That's why he said what he said. They're both right. Look, it'd be easy to say, no, they both suck. This is terrible. They should be better than that. But they're not wrong about how to get more reach. This is what is rewarded. That's what sucks. And by the way, they're no different than the president. He says what he says to provoke for profit. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I condone it. I'm saying I understand why they do it. And yes, I do believe there is a link. I think social media is not just a reflection of us. I think it's a funhouse mirror. I think it is perverting us, and it's exaggerating us in our most grotesque form. I don't think it's just correlation or unrelated in any way that there has been an increase in anti-Semitic talk and an increase in anti-Semitic attacks. That our politics is all conflict, no collaboration. That there are no more legitimate arguments. They're just insults. Why wouldn't there be more school shootings? Why wouldn't there be more political violence? What are we doing to counter that? However, there is an answer to that question. There is a reality that is not repeated by the algorithm, that you are not suffocated with. There is a range of reaction to all of this that I've just recounted to you that I think is a much more meaningful signal than the noise that social media amplifies. It is good that people are recognizing that there was a young white girl killed at Brown University and a young Uzbek boy, and they both bleed the same. And they were both destroyed by violence the same. If you care about one, you should care about both. I know that that's not cliquey, but that is the right way. And it was right for the vice president. He started off by saying she was killed. And yeah, he was a little suggestive, but we don't know why this happened. But yeah, he was playing the game a little bit. But somebody said something to him. And then he said, hey, and this Uzbek kid got killed also. It's terrible. Good. Look, we don't even know where the guy is. So why would you ever choose which victim to care about? You don't even know what his motive was. And it is good that people see the difference between the Muslim man who put his life on the line in Australia to stop one of the attackers, this guy, and the extreme Islamists whom he tried to stop. They are not the same. They're not even the same faith, okay? Islamism is an ideology that perverts what being a Muslim is supposed to be about. And this man reminded us that there's a big difference between being a Muslim and being an extreme Islamist. And while calling people Islamophobic may work for the algorithm, it doesn't work for me. Extreme Islamism is not me condemning all Muslims. It's protecting Muslims from this fringe, okay? Extreme Islamists are the enemy of Muslims and Christians and Jews alike. It is not Jews attacking Christmas festivals and terrorizing towns all over the globe. It is extreme Islamism. And no, it is not simply in solidarity with Gaza, because they're attacking everywhere, places that are pro-Palestinian and places that aren't. And if Gaza were such a rallying cause, why do so many Arab countries refuse to take them in? Look, I also like that this waste of life at this restaurant in New York City has been getting called out for being the cretin that he is. I will show you this.
You bitch, you're an ugly fucking cunt. Post me everywhere you fucking want, you ugly fucking Zionist. We will rid this country of fucking you by all fucking means.
What's your name again, Ken?
What's your name, cunt?
Oh,
you fucking
get
cunt!
Out. Hey, get out!
I can't believe you use the language. It's too much for my ears. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's not the language. It's the ideas, it's the motivation, it's the fact that nobody got up and got in his face and shouted him down. Okay? And I'm glad he's getting condemned. I hope he is afraid. Okay? I hope that we get to see some BS statement from him or some representative. He was under the influence or blah, he was provoked and he's afraid and he's being threatened. Good. Count me among those who say, I wish the guy in this video had been decked for what he said. I know it's wrong. I know it's not the legal way. I know it's not being better than what it is, but at a certain point, enough has to be enough. And I am a little surprised that in my city, in New York City, nobody got up and got in his face. doing that to a woman. And by the way, I do think there's a constructive argument to be made that his nose did touch her. That is an assault. Maybe there would have been a legal avenue to defend her, as a citizen can in certain circumstances. We all know violence isn't supposed to be the answer, but increasingly it is, isn't it? It's becoming a minority opinion, right? Based on what's on our headlines and what's all over social media, right? I do believe more of us need to become more active in doing what we know is right, to stop people intent on doing what this guy does and what everybody on social media is doing. And yes, I do see the president's contribution about Rob Reiner as a reminder that there are still things that transcend right and left, are just basic matters of right and wrong. And I am not surprised he said this, and I know he knows that it is wrong, but he will do it, and he will double down, and I'm not going to play it for you that he doubled down. This is who he is. He does not want to be consoler in chief. And he is one of the biggest beneficiaries of what is being promoted by the algorithms. There is absolutely no coincidence that Donald Trump came to power during a time when what is rewarded on social media is what is most provocative and most outrageous. And I think the fact that MAGA Nation is not happy with what he put out, that they do not want to have to own these thoughts after a man was killed. And I don't think you needed to see Rob Reiner saying that he felt terribly about what happened to Charlie Kirk and echoing the sentiments of his widow for you to believe that disrespecting the guy when he was just murdered is wrong. And I think it is good that that is not a minority response to this. We all know, as crazy as it all makes us, there is still decency. There is common humanity. Okay? Look, would it be nice if the most powerful man in the world echoed our virtues? Yeah, but it's not going to happen. And maybe we're in this situation because it's time for the rest of us to see that our own individual agency and what we should collectively come together to cherish, to inculcate, to celebrate, to promote, and to defend. Maybe that's what it's time to be about. You can't look up and hope for the leaders to do it for you, to be who you want us to be. Maybe it's about you and me, and maybe it's about we and who we can come together with, because it's not going to happen from them. Maybe that's the meaning in all this. I don't know, but I do know the algorithms aren't going to make it any better. And I really don't believe until we seize on this, that we start focusing on what joins us, what we all believe in this country, what matters to us, what we can make better, what government can do. I don't think anything gets better in any real way anytime soon. And it's not because I'm a cynic. I am irrationally optimistic. But I do hope we are bottoming out, that we are becoming exhausted by and of the exploitation of divisive agendas in social media. And I do believe you're starting to get it. It's done by design. Your For You page, you know, sometimes you look at it and you're like, holy, what is wrong with me? Where is all this stuff? They're feeding it to you. It's not just that it's what you're looking for. It's that if you look for anything that's anything like it, they give you 10 times how much you were looking for, and not just by number, not just by quantity, but by quality or lack thereof. It's done by design to play on whatever weaknesses you reveal to it. And that's where we're spending most of our time. All right? So, if you think about it, social media, I'll end on this. Social media is the first major construct, I would say in the world, but certainly in American society, that has been set up not to promote our better values. Think about that. It has been set up to take advantage of, to magnify and amplify what we discourage everywhere else in our civilized lives. And until we fix that, You should not have expectations that anything gets any time better, because we're not anytime soon, because we're not rewarding anything better. So that's what I see that's going on. But the real problem is that there's a lot we still don't know, all right? And the major thing we don't know is who did this at Brown University. And the longer he's out there, or she's out there, or they are out there, the more opportunity is that they could do it again. The police are continuing their search. 2 students are gone. 9 others are injured. A person of interest was taken into custody and released. That doesn't mean that they screwed up, okay? It can happen. We're not used to it in these situations, but it's not unusual in an investigation, okay? At this afternoon's press conference, the police released new videos of pictures of a person they believe to be the shooter, okay? They are describing him as male. Seems right to me, but who knows these days. About 5'8", stocky. Video shows him both before and after the shooting, all right? Somewhat, you know, it doesn't look like just anybody, right? It's kind of a short, squat guy. $50,000 reward from the FBI. They obviously need our help to find this guy, and hopefully somebody will give them information, and soon. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.